Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Claire and I put out videos about luxury bags and accessories and sometimes some other things as well. So if that is your thing, please click on the subscribe button, hit the notification bell and you'll know when I upload a new video. I have been to New York and now I'm back and it all seems like a bit of a dream, but we had an absolutely fantastic time. We met up with a number of other luxury YouTubers and we had a really fun time, and I can't believe it's all over. So welcome to my first vlog, and I wanted to do a little introduction to this first vlog of my time in New York because I wanted to set the scene and put some things into context for you. Now, I last went to New York in January 2000. I actually travelled and arrived in New York City on the 1st of January 2000. There were still actually revellers in Times Square from the Millennium celebrations the night before. That was, say, 24 years ago, over 24 years ago that I last went to New York. My husband, he has never been to New York. He has never been to the United States. So this was quite a big trip for both of us. There was lots of anticipation, lots of excitement, and it certainly didn't disappoint. But because I hadn't been for so long and my husband's never been at all, we wanted to do some touristy things when we were there. I had done touristy things when I was there before, but in all those years there's new things to do and there's some things that have changed, so we really wanted to do some of the touristy things while we were there. So this first vlog is going to be about our first full 2 days in New York, and we were doing touristy things. Now obviously the other YouTubers are doing their vlogs as well, and you will see that some of the others have got more shopping vlogs for you, because some of them have been to New York much more recently than us and they've been more frequently than us, so they've done quite a lot of those touristy things already, and so they came primarily for shopping. So the overall purpose for all of us coming to New York was to see each other and to spend time together, and we definitely did that. But then obviously some of us had some secondary goals as well. Some of them wanted to do some more shopping. Myself and my husband wanted to do these touristy things. So the first vlog, you're not going to see any of the luxury YouTubers, although we did meet up with a couple of them here and there on the first couple of days, but primarily those 2 days were just for myself and my husband, and we spent them doing what many tourists do when they go to New York City. So I hope you enjoy this aspect of our New York trip. You'll see that the vlog includes much more voiceover narration, because it was very difficult when we were visiting these particular sites that feature in the vlog to do narration there and then. So as I say, I've had to do voiceover for you. So I hope you find this vlog interesting. I'm going to run VT and share with you our travelling day and our first full couple of days in New York City. We're going to New York. Here we are at the bus station. It is a very early time in the morning. It's 4 a.m. Yeah, we had to get up around 2 a.m, 2:30 a.m. to make it down here for 4 a.m. to catch a National Express coach that was taking us to Heathrow. The coach took a couple of hours and did deposit us outside departures at Heathrow Terminal 5. But yes, you can see this bus station is pretty deserted this time of the morning, and yeah, we're pretty tired. So here we are on the coach, and when we got to Heathrow we checked in, and then I went and had a look around some of the luxury boutiques. I didn't take much footage because all of the boutiques were empty and I was the only person in each one, so I was very self-conscious of taking my phone out and filming. It did mean that I got excellent service though, so I've got some footage here of just outside Bottega Veneta, and in a moment I'm looking in the window of Louis Vuitton. I did go inside Louis Vuitton, and as I said, I did get excellent service. I met a lovely sales associate there and we talked all things capucines and all things petite males. She gave me her details and she showed me pictures of all the petite males that she could get hold of for me, and one of them in particular was absolutely beautiful, and I thought when I saw it, it was one that I'd seen Meredith unbox from the channel Living Lux with Meredith, and I did check with her when I saw her and she said yes, it is petite mail that she has, and it is this beauty here. And if ever there was a petite mail for me, this is it. The sales associate said it was lizard, but Meredith actually confirmed it was karung, and obviously Meredith knows her stuff. So yeah, I am very tempted by that petite mail. So while in Louis Vuitton, I took the opportunity to film my outfit of the day. I'm wearing a green shirt by Mint Velvet. Underneath there's a little vest top in black by Next, and my wide leg black linen trousers with my Fendi belt. The trousers are by Marks and Spencer's and are so comfortable, and I'm wearing UGG slides, so I definitely dressed for comfort. Obviously my bag was my Chanel wallet on chain. After perusing the luxury stores, we had a cup of coffee, and in no time at all our gate was called and it was time to board our plane. So here we are on the plane. Here's a view just after takeoff. The windows are a bit grubby. Yeah, we are now leaving the UK and heading for the States. So we both had some Prosecco and some sparkling water when we got onto the plane. We were in premium economy, so we had 2 seats to ourselves and we had a fair amount of space. We decided not to go business class. We were happy with the premium economy. Yeah, so this was our sort of little area on the plane. You can see me with my compression socks on. They were brilliant. I had no issues with my legs. I know they're not the most attractive items, but I was very happy wearing them. This is our lunch menu, and the food was really nice actually. For airline food, it really wasn't that bad. I have to say, I did enjoy my food, and we were treated very well on the plane. We had drinks served to us whenever we wanted. So yeah, we had a lovely, pleasant flight. It really didn't seem that long before we were checking into our hotel. I've done a room tour for you in another vlog, but here are some shots of the view outside of our hotel room. We're on the 15th floor. You'll see in this one, you just get a glimpse of the Chrysler building there. The first night we went for a walk, we had something to eat, we chilled out. We ran into Meredith in the bar, but she had literally just got there as well. So there was very quick hugs and hellos, and then we had an early night ready to face the following day. Outfit of the day for the next day, bit of a uniform for me now. It was very hot, so a loose fitting white shirt from Mint Velvet, another vest top from Next, this time in burgundy, wide leg linen trousers again from Marks and Spencer's, this time in beige, with a Saint Laurent belt, my fab raffia baguette from Fendi, first time using it, love that bag, and very comfy shoes from Birkenstock. We went for breakfast at Fresh & Co. We both had smoked salmon and cream cheese, hubby's in a sandwich, mine was with avocado on sourdough. Okay, so I am going to change tone a little bit now, because on this first day in New York we decided to visit the 9/11 Memorial and Museum. Now there's a little story here, because on my last trip to New York, which I said was in January 2000, on the last day of that trip, I visited the World Trade Center and we saw the Twin Towers, and I actually went up to the observatory on the South Tower and stood virtually on the roof of that tower, the place where the public were allowed to stand. And here are a couple of pictures of me actually on that trip standing on the South Tower. And it was probably the highest I've ever been, and you can see obviously, you know, Manhattan far down below me. Obviously a year and 9 months later, there was the terrible events of 9/11 and the Twin Towers are no more. Given that that was my last day in New York when I was last here, I really felt it was fitting that on that first day I went back to that site and I had a look at what they have done now with the memorial. Hubby and I are very interested in history, and 9/11 was a pivotal event in the 21st century, and we really felt that we wanted to go and see the museum. So this is what we did on our first day. I'm going to put some images from the museum, from the memorial. I'm not going to say very much about them or narrate. I'm just going to put maybe some captions with them so you can see what we're looking at. I wouldn't say this was obviously a fun day. It was extremely interesting. It was very thought-provoking. It was harrowing at times, and I'm glad that we went to the museum. We did choose to pay extra and have the guided tour, which I would highly recommend because it just added another dimension to our visit to the museum. So that was our visit to the 9/11 Memorial and Museum. There were a couple of exhibitions at the museum that we went into, but you weren't allowed to take photos in those. So after that, we felt quite emotional and exhausted. So we went back to our hotel, and there we met up with some of the other luxury YouTubers, Meredith from Living Lux with Meredith, Gwenny from Styled by Gwenny and the Lion, Lisa from Luxury and Life in the Middle, and we had a couple of drinks. And then a bit later we went out for dinner with Gwenny and the Lion. Here is my outfit for the dinner, but that is the only photo I have because Gwenny and I were terrible YouTubers and we didn't film or photograph any of the evening. We were having such a great time having dinner together, being in the moment, catching up, and hubby and the Lion were getting to know each other and they got on really well. So yeah, we didn't film a thing that evening, I'm afraid. The next day I started off in this outfit, but then I actually changed my shirt because it was so hot I needed a cooler shirt. But we decided on day 3 to visit Liberty Island and Ellis Island, as hubby decided that he just could not come to New York and not go home without seeing the Statue of Liberty. So we took the subway down to Battery Park and then we got the ferry across to Liberty Island first. It was extremely busy on this day, so we did end up queuing quite a lot, and Liberty Island was especially busy. When we got there, we did take advantage of the free audio tour, so we got the audio narration and our headphones, and we headed to the Statue of Liberty Museum. So I'll put some photographs here and tell you about some things that I thought were particularly interesting that I learnt in the museum. The Statue of Liberty was designed and sculpted by French sculptor Frédéric Auguste Bartoli, and when he first travelled to Egypt in 1856, he was awestruck at the colossal statues there of the pharaohs. And in 1869, he submitted a proposal to the Egyptian Sultan for a colossal statue to be designed to commemorate the completion of the Suez Canal. And this small model here, which is of an Egyptian peasant woman, is actually his original idea for the design of that statue. The monument ended up being too expensive for the Egyptians to build. However, a Frenchman named Edouard de Labille had already proposed that France gift a monument to commemorate the centennial of US independence to the United States. So Bartoli started to repurpose his scrap design and alter the details of his ideas. The woman's Egyptian dress gave way to Greek robes, and although the original design also held aloft a torch, the initial idea was to have light radiating from the Egyptian woman's head as a lighthouse, but this then gave way to the light radiating from the torch itself for the US design. The statue's original name was Liberty Enlightening the World, and what I found particularly interesting was how it was constructed. It was a process of moulding lightweight copper sheets, and then they were placed around this sort of internal scaffolding skeleton that the statue has. So this is actually what's inside the Statue of Liberty. This is a copper mould of the statue's face, so up close and personal. She looks very serious, I think. And this is how her face would have looked originally before all the weather and the elements turned the copper green. And this is the statue's original torch. At first it was not supposed to be lighted from the inside, but was to be made of solid copper sheet and gilded to shine brightly in the daylight. But during its first half century it underwent numerous modifications. A lot of the copper was replaced by glass. In 1931, a new lighting system was installed that meant that there were 2 holes that had to be cut into the floor of the balcony around the flame for projectors to be installed. And so the original design was completely unrecognisable by this time. So in the 1980s, when the statue was being restored, a team of experts determined that the original torch could not be restored. There'd been too many modifications and there were so many leaks from the rain and corrosion from the elements. It was just damaged beyond repair. So it was removed in 1984 and replaced with a replica, and the original now sits in the museum. After we had visited Liberty Island, we took the short ferry ride to Ellis Island, which was from 1892 to 1924 America's largest and most active immigration station, where over 12 million immigrants were processed. We looked around and took the audio tour again. It was mainly photographs and information about the process that the immigrants went through when they were on Ellis Island. It was a place of great joy when the immigrants were accepted and allowed to start a new life in the United States, and a place of great sadness for the small percentage of immigrants that were turned away and sent home, often being separated from their family members. The audio tour covered how the people arrived in the United States, the sorts of health checks and other checks they had to go through, and where they went from Ellis Island if they were given onward passage to continue into the United States. One of the most interesting parts of the audio tour were the personal testimonies. There were people who had come here as immigrants and they had recorded their experiences, and there were children whose parents had gone through Ellis Island and some of which had become American citizens, and they explained what it meant to them to actually go through that citizenship and become American. Then, after a bit of a wait in a very long queue, we were on the ferry and we were heading back to Manhattan again. Once we were on dry land again, we took the subway back up to our hotel, where we did a quick change and we went out for dinner at a place called Schnippers. It was very American. Hubby had burger and fries and I had tuna melt and fries. Then that was the end of a very busy and long and tiring but enjoyable day. So there you have it. That is my first vlog. I really hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, please give the video a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already, because there is another vlog coming and the next one will feature all the luxury YouTubers. It will be about our day at Fashiophile and pre-loved luxury shopping. So there will be lots of luxury bags featured in the next vlog and luxury shopping. So please subscribe for that if you haven't already. Spoiler alert, I did make some purchases, so there will be an unboxing of some different items coming as well, so please, you know, another reason to subscribe if you're interested in that. But yes, in the meantime, thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!